been waiting about 6 years for Apple to make this phone, and I got my hands on an early dummy unit, but this one can't do the thing that I've been waiting years to see. So, allegedly, this is the iPhone Fold or iPhone Ultra when it launches in a few months. And this is obviously, again, just a dummy model. But the last few years of dummy models have shown that these things can be really accurate, down to like almost the millimeter, and given a real early look at what Apple will eventually show us in September. While it's cool to like play with the form factor, the shape, I don't think was ever really the question. This is all but confirmed that it's going to look like this Passport design. The two biggest wild cards, I think, are all about what happens at the Fold and what happens when you turn it on. Because if Apple fails to execute on both of those pretty close to perfectly, there's a good chance that this thing ends up not just as a Vision Pro level flop, but I think could really hurt Apple's reputation, especially just like days after new CEO took over. But I am very far ahead of myself. So some context. I have carried about every foldable sold in this country back to the original Galaxy Folds that almost came apart in reviewers' hands. So I think I know how good the competition already is. And what makes it an even tougher sell is that Apple isn't just late to the folding game, they're like 7 years late. The Z Fold that's out now is on its 7th generation. 7th round of fixing the hinge, the crease durability, and when you show up that late, like good is going to be an insult. It has to be near perfect, and I think Apple knows it, which is exactly why the headline feature is one you're not supposed to be able to see. The crease. I think people are split in the foldable world whether or not they care about the crease, but every foldable phone has one. It's that little, I don't know, it's like a valley down the middle where the screen kind of bends, and it can break the magic of holding a foldable. Using this beautiful tablet, and then your thumb rolls over a dent, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is just a phone that opened up. Apple's apparently obsessed with killing that. And word is that you're treating it as a materials problem. Sort of a layer under the screen that spreads the stress of the fold across the whole panel instead of kind of letting it bunch up at the bend like we've seen before on every other foldable. It's supposedly under 0.15 of a millimeter deep. For reference, Samsung's current Z Fold is about double of that. If we open the iPhone Ultra and the fold isn't there, I think that alone is gonna come really close to selling the phone. And there was a tease that made me a believer that could actually happen. Samsung Display clearly didn't talk to Apple. At CES, they showed what I think is the panel it's going to be in the iPhone Ultra, and I'm sure they got an angry call from Apple legal and then yanked it the second the internet realized what it was. But I can't test any of that. This dummy model obviously doesn't have any of that stuff. So quick break from iPhone Ultra, iPhone Fold stuff, to thank this video's sponsor, Lens App. You probably heard of them. It's a visual search app for your iPhone. They do it really well. You point your camera at something, snap it. The Lens App pulls the best matches from across the web. Your camera becomes your search engine. Once you have it, you start using it everywhere. Someone at the airport has a jacket you want, like discreetly snap a picture, now you know where you can buy it. Weird plant you see on your walk, and you wanna know if you can eat it, snap it, find that name in 2 seconds and find out if it's poisonous. Traveling in a foreign country, menu in another language, on vacation, snap it, translate it before the waiter comes back. Watching a movie and there's like that one actor, you can't remember where he's from, take a picture, and now you know all of it. Anything you could think of, see it, snap it, search it, searches images, video, frames, products, and text, plus specialized stuff like artwork and stock photos too. It is free to download on the iPhone. There is a subscription level tier as well. Tap it, try it, and thanks to Lens for sponsoring this video. So the one thing that I wanted to know, because this is an unusual size, is the shape, right? So I want to tell you everything about it. I think the shape is weird. It opens up like a book, similar to Pixel Fold. Internal screen is about the size of an iPad mini. It's 7.8 inch screen. Closed, I say normal-ish, because there's no phone that looks like that, with a 5.5 inch outside screen, but you can very easily use it one-handed. It's supposed to have a super thin titanium chassis, and really kind of the overall design to feel like an iPhone Air. Got busy with like an iPad mini. In the hand, this form factor feels weird. I don't know how else to say it. It just feels weird. It feels wide and short, and when it's closed, it doesn't sit like a phone has sat for years in my hand. This is where it kind of gets me worried. Obviously, Apple can do this, but should they? Is this form factor gonna lead to just not only just a bad phone for doing phone stuff, but also kind of a bad iPad mini too? Are they just making worse versions of the two things that I already own and then charging me more to carry both of them in one body? That's my worry. And the thing that answers it, I think, is going to be software. Because a folding phone lives or dies on whether or not apps are going to be built for it. And this is the first time I think that question has a really easy answer. Android proved this form factor worked years ago. What Android never got fully was apps, because I don't think many developers were going to rebuild their whole layout for a few million foldables scattered across what was mostly, some Samsung models and some Google models. Apple doesn't have that problem. This ships into an ecosystem of hundreds of millions of people, and developers, I think, are going to flock to it for that reason alone, whether the shape deserves that attention or not. So for the first time, a foldable is going to get the software it needs. And Apple's already tipped their hand. In the iOS 27 beta, apps can easily scale in real time, not just blown up taller and wider, but actually showing more information as they grow. There are references to hinge angles and multiple screens buried in the code, and Apple is straight up telling developers to stop designing for one fixed screen shape and start building for, in their words, a range of sizes and aspect ratios. We've even seen some stock Apple apps that for the very first time, completely out of the blue, now sort of a native rich landscape mode. It's very obvious what's coming. The only question though is how far Apple is going to take it. Will you be able to sort of truly run apps side by side on an iPhone Ultra? I sure as heck hope so, because this is made for two apps side by side. They really function like iPadOS with resizable windows and offer real multitasking. Is it going to be typical iOS but just stretched out to show more info? That's the part that I'm really watching for. And those are the parts that I think are really going to sell or kill this. But also keep in mind, to get this thing this thin, Apple had to give stuff up too. And these are real cuts, not nitpicks. Two cameras on the back. We got a wide and an ultra wide, both 48 megapixels, no telephoto. That sucks. I use telephoto all the time, no real zoom. Whole reason I wanted Apple to build this was finally carry one foldable that did everything. My camera, my big screen, all of it, no compromises. And sort of the first thing that I think we're going to get is a compromise on the exact thing that I use the most. I shoot my kids' baseball games. I live in Zoom. I'm 60 feet from the action trying to sort of get a good shot of my kid batting. You'll hear a lot of people claim sort of the wide sensor crops in for a 10 or 15 times zoom. It does, but I think ignore that. Cropping a sensor is not a zoom lens. It's just pretending that it is. And that kind of, marketing math, just know it going in. Also going back to Touch ID, which on this dummy unit has it on the high part of the side, but there are conflicting reports here. There's two buttons on this dummy unit that look identical. I'm assuming one's an action button, hopefully the lower version, because where the top one is, it sits absolutely perfectly. Also, weirdly, volume buttons on the top is strange, but probably just have to get used to that. It'll probably launch in one color, though I have heard rumors that we'll see this white and actually a dark blue, but I don't think the colors are gonna make or break whether or not this sells. But there's the one thing that is gonna make or break whether or not this sells, and that's the cost. This is where tech runs into reality. Every leak starts this thing out at around $2,000, and reporting this week as of filming was pushing the ceiling towards $2,500 as you get higher up in storage tiers. That's more than any iPhone has ever cost. The current most expensive iPhone maxes out right now, where this one will allegedly start. And sort of if you read the tea leaves, Apple just raised the prices on Macs and iPads and sort of very obviously left the iPhone alone, which to me sounds like they're saving the increase for the fall. So you're not cross-shopping this against a Pro Max, you're cross-shopping it against like a laptop. Launch timing, the plan is a September reveal alongside the iPhone 18 Pros, but supposedly due to production delays, it'll be very limited supply and a good chance it won't release until October or November. The Pro ships on time. Foldable shows up a few weeks later. The things that I really want to know about the Fold, we're gonna have to wait until it comes out to check out, because this dummy unit will never tell me how good the crease is going to be. It's never gonna tell me how good the software is going to be. And it's never gonna tell me how good that hinge is, whether or not it can survive, tens of thousands of doing this. But sort of the question I asked at the beginning, because Apple can, should they? I think they absolutely should. I have waited for a form factor like this from Apple for a very long time. I just hope that we're not falling victim to that first gen thing where wait for Gen 2, wait for Gen 3, because at the price you're gonna be asking for this thing, it's gotta be really, really close to perfect. I'm still excited for it. I'm still gonna buy one, but I don't know how many are gonna be waiting in line with me.